in this section, we want to determine the differences between functions and relations. So to do that, we first need to understand what it is to be a function. So to be a function, it is first a relation. So a relation just compares two different values, okay, or two different variables. In our case, to be specifically a function, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have exactly one independent variable for exactly one dependent variable. So in our case, what that means in simplest terms is that the x, or the independent variables, do not repeat in comparison with the y, or dependent variables. To do this, we can check from, say, ordered pairs, a set of ordered pairs, or we can check this from a graph. When we're looking at ordered pairs, we're going to simply just look at the x values. Remember, in an ordered pair, we would have x comma y. So all we're going to do is we're going to look at the x's and make sure that they don't repeat throughout the entire set. Okay. If we have a graph, then what we're going to do is something called the vertical line test, or the VLT. What that basically does is it says that I can draw or drop a vertical line anywhere in the graph, and I will not touch the graph more than one time. So all we're going to do is we're going to draw vertical lines all the way through, and it's all or nothing. It either never crosses more than one time, or it will fail to be a function. So let's look at a couple of examples here. First two examples we're going to look at is going to be an ordered pair. Okay, so our set is going to include ordered pairs. We're going to first look at all of the x values. So we have 8, 5, 9, and 3. So looking at just the x values, I can see that the x's do not repeat. So that means that it is a function. Okay. Now, if we look at the next set, I'm going to again look at my x's, 9, negative 3, 9. I notice though this time that the 9 is actually repeated. So this 9 here, since it is repeated, it's going to make it fail to be a function. So since the x's repeat, then this is not a function. So it's going to just remain a relation. So only a relation. Remember, any set is a relation. It has to then qualify to be a function, right? So now let's look at our graphs here. When I look at my first graph, we said we're going to look at the vertical line test. So I'm going to draw vertical lines anywhere in here. And because when I draw these vertical lines, I cross the graph more than one time at any given spot, this is actually going to fail the vertical line test. So since it fails the vertical line test, then this is not a function. Again, this would only be a relation. Okay. All right, so let's look at our last example here. Again, I'm going to drop vertical lines, and as I'm dropping these vertical lines, it does not ever cross more than one time. So the x's not repeat. Therefore, it's going to pass that vertical line test, and it is a function. Okay? So hopefully now we can see the difference between a function and a relation. The function just means that my independent, my x values do not repeat. There's only one x value for every one y value, one input for every one output.